A change. 8223 0000 is the number to have your say.
Up to the minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny this afternoon, sunny tomorrow and 33. With the 3 o'clock news, good afternoon, I'm Mel Usher. A new era for Adelaide with confirmation today that will host MotoGP's first ever street race next year after snatching the Australian Motorcycle Grand Prix off Victoria. It ends Phillip Island's 30-year run as home of the race, with SA signing a 6-year deal. Premier Peter Malinauskas says the track design follows the blueprint of the famous F1 circuit.
We are bringing MotoGP to the streets, unlike anywhere before. To see motorcyclists travelling at over 340 kilometres an hour on the streets of Adelaide will be a spectacle unlike any other one that's gone before it.
The opposition says high inflation is still an issue as Australia's unemployment rate remains steady. New data shows the jobless rate has stayed at 4.1% in January, with almost 18,000 jobs created over the month. This is less than what analysts had expected. Liberal leader Angus Taylor says people are working harder, but wages aren't keeping up with the cost of living.
Pay packets of hard-working Australians can buy less. That's real wages going backwards when what's in your bank account can buy less. Well, that's exactly what's happening under this failed government. The Treasurer told us that he'd beaten inflation. Well, inflation has beaten him.
Here in SA, our jobless rate dropped 0.2 to 3.7%. The ACCC is preparing to crack down on Chinese retailers Temu and Shine to prevent the sale of dodgy products. The consumer watchdog is releasing its new priorities for 2026-27. Chairwoman Gina Cascott-Lieb says a voluntary pledge hasn't had the desired effect.
To ask them to proactively take active steps to promote product safety on their platforms. Only 3 have signed up. That's Amazon, eBay and AliExpress.
Now turning to 5AA Sport, and there are reports Riley O'Brien will be left out of the Crows team for the pre-season showdown. Meantime, Adelaide won't risk Isaac Rankin in tomorrow night's game. He suffered a low-grade hamstring strain at training yesterday. Mitch Hinge and Isaac Cumming will also sit out the match and be reassessed next week for back soreness and a low-grade hamstring injury, as will Sid Draper, but he's expected to be available to play next week. While Port's Ivan Soldo has been moved to the club's inactive list following his ACL injury, he's currently recovering from surgery in Melbourne. The Matildas have named a 26-player squad for the Women's Asian Cup at home, welcoming back stars Sam Kerr and Mary Fowler. The tournament kicks off against the Philippines in Perth on the 1st of March. Well, the youngest member of the Australian Olympic team will finally have her opportunity to compete on day 13. More from Shane McGuinness.
Well, most Aussie athletes are starting to wind up their competition at these games. Melbourne's Indra Brown is just about to get started. The 16-year-old gets her opportunity in the free ski halfpipe tomorrow morning Australian time, an event in which she won silver at the X Games in Aspen just last month. Riley Flanagan will be out to emulate the success of Danielle Scott when he lines up in the men's aerials today, while the sport of ski mountaineering makes its Olympic debut. 2 Aussies lining up in the sport affectionately known as Skimo.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at Kilburn at Bruce Watermain, Churchill Road at the Green Junction, Cavan Road intersection. She's down to 1 lane in both directions, so that will be very ordinary this hour. Try and avoid if you can. Seaton traffic lights out of action due to a smashed Tapley's Hill Road near Trimmer Parade, and Anglevale, Bruce Watermain, Anglevale Road near Stevens Drive. Camera, Saints Road, Salisbury Plain. From browsing shows to booking tickets and keeping track of your plans, the Adelaide Fringe app is your pocket-sized guide to all things Fringe. Available on the App Store and Google Play. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, sunny this afternoon, sunny tomorrow 33, Saturday mostly sunny 36 and Sunday showers 20. Right now it's 25 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, Adelaide is now officially the new home of Australia's MotoGP event, sensationally stealing it from Victoria. Plans unveiled for a world-first city street circuit. Plus, a multi-million-dollar fire forces a school to close in the heart of the city. And we're live with the teams for the showdown practice match. 9 News, your news, 9 at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
The 5AA Sports Show.
Rowie and Timmy G. We spoke to the Premier, Peter Malinauskas, and right at the end we sort of had that rumour about the MotoGP and whether we were bidding for it to get it off Phillip Island.
The Ben and the Shaheen family have been keen on motorcycle racing for a while now.
Well,
Adelaide's only local sports show.
I would be very surprised if this doesn't end up at the Ben.
The 5AA Sports Show.
Weekday afternoons from 4.
On 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Phil Hoffman Travel and Cosmos Tours invite you to discover Britain and Europe for less. Experience the 8-night Irish Discovery Tour from $2,349 per person twin share, with dramatic coastlines, lush landscapes, vibrant cities and medieval towns. Travel with expert tour directors, hand-picked hotels, and all breakfasts are included. Plus, save up to $500 per couple on selected 2026 tours. Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
Hungry? Subway's got you covered. Order a Subway 6-inch value range sub for just $7 on the Subway app. The Subway 6-inch value range. Big flavour, great value. Order now on the Subway app. Available at participating restaurants.
I recently spoke with Ryan and Stephanie from Anderson's Solicitors, and our discussion was based around relationship breakdowns. Of course, we know they can be extremely stressful for everyone involved. There are questions like what happens with the house, the car, the kids, your future. And it can be hard to know what to do or who to turn to. But the family law team at Anderson Solicitors can help you through it. And they're waiting to take your calls off air and completely confidential in the interactive lounge now. The number to call is 8223 0055. That's 8223 0055. And if right now isn't convenient for you, you can jump online later at andersons.com.au.
5AA is celebrating what makes Adelaide truly special. Local businesses across our city, north, south, east and west.
I'm here with Con Saturis from Spartan Appliances. Hi, Con.
Hi, Stacey.
Tell me a little bit about Spartan Appliances. You have been around for nearly 60 years.
Yes, we've evolved over the years. We've done many different things, but now our strengths really lie in the kitchen, the laundry and the outdoor living spaces.
And you've got 2 stores?
We do, Campbelltown and Torrensville.
And it's been in the one family for that whole time?
It has, yep. My dad started the business, I think it was 57 years ago.
Is it best if someone comes in if they just want to replace one appliance, or if there's someone buying a new house or building a new house, can they come in and just say, we need everything?
All of the above. If you just need a new washing machine or a dishwasher or your fridge is packed up, we can help you with that. We pride ourselves, though, on our selection processes that we would do with people that are renovating, building. They've come in referred by the designer, their architect, or even a friend to do the whole home, to do the lot.
And that sounds like a streamlined way of doing it, as opposed to, get this, the fridge here, the washing machine here.
It all gets delivered at the same time. You've only got one point of contact afterwards.
And if you're like me and you've got the appliances but you're not sure how to use them properly, you do cooking demonstrations as well.
We do. We work with our supplier partners to put on both pre- and post-purchase demonstrations.
So get in store, Spartan Appliances, Torrensville and Campbelltown. Con, great to chat. Thanks for coming in.
Loved it, Stacey. Thank you.
5AA, supporting local, celebrating SA.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
Good afternoon to you and happy Thursday. It's 10 minutes past 3. That means we are into the third and final hour of the afternoon's program, and we are live on the YouTube live stream. So jump on Facebook as well, or YouTube, and say hello. 8223 0000 is the number to call to have your say this hour. We're talking about the MotoGP, which is going to take place in Adelaide from next year, 2027, and it'll be the first time that there is a street circuit for the MotoGP. Motorbikes travelling on our roads in the city at 340 k's an hour. What do you think about it? 8223 0000. Now's the time to have your say. And we'll also revisit a topic we were having earlier in the program about daylight saving. Do you like daylight saving the way it is, or do you think it should change? Because it could become an election issue if one party gets their way. Before we get into that, though, Robert Sims is a Greens MLC in the State Parliament's upper house, and he joins you this afternoon. Good afternoon, Robert Sims.
Good afternoon, Stacey.
Now, you want to talk about the MotoGP race.
Yeah, that's right. And look, the Greens obviously welcome more activities and events in Adelaide, but at the same time, once again, we're seeing the Premier landing a sporting deal, yet he still hasn't landed a deal with our nurses. And, the government's really got to get the basics right as well. And this announcement comes at a time when we've got nurses locked in a pay dispute with the government, trying to get better pay and better conditions. But we've also got more people sleeping on the street than ever before, and a health system that's still in crisis. And so we really need to see the Premier step up and put a focus on those things as well.
Do you think his priorities are wrong?
Well, I think he's good at these big picture announcements and, clinching these big sporting events. And sure, there's a role for that. But, you've got to also do the basics and the unsexy work of actually making sure that our public transport network is appropriately resourced, making sure we have a health system that's doing what it should do, making sure that we're actually building the housing that we need. And I'm worried that those things are just not getting the appropriate focus that they need from Labor.
Some would say the money that the state gets to do those things can come from events and bringing events into Adelaide and South Australia and generating that, that income and that economic benefit from getting more people in our state and getting more eyes on our state through events like this.
Well, it's very hard to test those claims because the government's not transparent about how much money is spent on these sorts of events. And, we spoke a bit about this last week in the context of the Live Golf Course. Now, I understand that not every element can be made publicly available, but I do think the community has a right to know when we're talking about public events that the taxpayer is picking up the bill for. I do think the community has a right to know how much is being invested in general terms so that at least there can be some sort of cost-benefit analysis. And so it's very difficult to test those claims. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad event. I think it's exciting to see something like this happening in Adelaide. But, once again, we're seeing the Premier focusing on the headlines and not seeing the local service delivery happening on the ground. I think also there are some serious questions too that need to be worked through about how this is managed. This Labor government doesn't have a very good track record when it comes to parklands protection, nor does it have a very good track record when it comes to heritage. And we've got the Victoria Park Grandstand, for instance, heritage listed, iconic, and I want to make sure that's not being damaged through this process as well.
It looks to me from the map that I've seen online for this racetrack that it will go past the Victoria Park Grandstand, which, would be quite a sight to see. And what an iconic spot to sit and watch a race like this.
Yeah, and look, potentially that's the case. But, my experience dealing with the Malinowskis government is the devil's in the details. So I want to make sure that they are not compromising that heritage building as part of any development that goes alongside this, and also to minimise the number of trees that might be lost too. And that's also pretty important as well. So there's a few things to work through too in terms of getting the details right.
I understand that there'll be some trees that have to go in the parklands as well to extend the racetrack. About 45 trees will have to be removed. I can imagine being a Greens MLC, you're not too happy about that.
Yeah, look, that's of concern, of course. And the government says 45. We need to test the veracity of those claims. The other thing I'm not sure about is whether this will require legislation through the Parliament, because it does relate potentially to Victoria Park, which I understand is under the management of the City Council. So this is likely to be an issue that we'll deal with in the new Parliament. And look, I'm not against the event at all. But I think there are some legitimate questions to ask about making sure we get the balance right in terms of protecting our public green space, making sure there's community access, protecting our heritage buildings, and there's a broader point about the priorities and focus of the Malinowskis government. And once again, we're seeing the Premier focusing on flashy announcements And I do think it's a bit of a slap in the face to our nurses who are waiting to clinch a deal with the Malinowskis government to try and get fair recognition for their work. And yet, whilst they're locked in the middle of a pay dispute, you've got the Premier out there today spruiking yet another sporting deal.
Well, there's two sides to this, and we're getting text messages from both sides. Wendy in Gawler on the text line's calling you a killjoy, whereas
I've been called worse.
Roger says, what will Supreme Leader Malley do should he run out of games and circuses? So...
Yeah, and look, as I say, I'm not against the event, and I think as a child who grew up in South Australia in the 90s and remember the Grand Prix and how disappointing it was to lose the Grand Prix, it is good to see South Australia hosting iconic events, but we've got to get the basics right too, and this is where I think this Labor government is lacking. And we're in the final days of this parliament. It's pretty telling that this is how the parliamentary term is ending, rather than the government clinching a deal with our nurses and committing to providing to pay them what they're worth, given they're significantly underpaid.
All right. Robert Sims, thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thanks very much, Stacey. It's always good to chat to you.
You too. Robert Sims there, Greens MLC and State Parliament's Upper House. It's worth noting as well that we did request the Premier to come on the program this afternoon to answer some of those questions that have been posed about the trees, about the parklands. A lot of you on the text line are concerned about rider safety as well. I also wanted to talk to him about how much... this will, he says it'll be an economic benefit to South Australia when they make these deals with big motoring associations and big sporting associations like the AFL, like Live Golf. They usually do a bit of a cost-benefit analysis. So he would have some analysis there on what the economic benefit is projected to be for Adelaide. So I'd like to find out those stats as well from the Premier. Unfortunately, have we been told he's not available, or still haven't heard back? We still haven't heard back. The offer is there for the Premier, and we have attempted to ask him those questions. And if he has some time available, we'll make some time for him, of course. 8223 0000 is the number to call now to have your say. As I say, the text line's pretty divided, and it's pretty 50-50 at this stage. Just half of you are for it, half of you are against it. Darcy is in Greenwith. What do you think, Darcy? Hello.
I would have liked to have said to Rob, doesn't the government need to generate money in order to pay for nurses and pay for homeless services? So is it like, I understand, but in other aspects, the nurses knocked back yesterday an 11.1% pay increase, which is far more than any private sector employee is getting. So we either go back and accept that Adelaide's the city of churches and everyone has to lump their pay scales proportionate to the income the government gets, or we celebrate days like today and the state moves forward and generates a hell of a lot more money, which in turn every resident is going to benefit from.
Interesting point. I will just pick you up on something there. The nurses are saying that the pay rise that was offered to them was not quite 11%, and it's over 3 years, not 1 year. So, it's not a 10% pay rise in 1 year. It's 4%, then 3%, then 3%. Or approximately. But that's the thought that a lot of other people are having as well, Darcy. Thank you for your call. It's 20 minutes past 3 here on 5AA. I'll continue to take your calls throughout the afternoon. What do you think? Yay or nay? Do you support the MotoGP? Maybe you don't care for the MotoGP. The text line's 50-50 at the moment. Let's see if we can make a decision this afternoon. 8223 0000 is the number to have your say.
5AA is celebrating local businesses across Adelaide, like Gawler Motorcycle Centre, your destination for CF Moto, motorbikes, ATVs and UTVs. Evanston South, near Gawler. 5AA, supporting local, celebrating SA.
15 times a day, your Royal Flying Doctor Service comes to the rescue of someone in South Australia. It could be a heart attack, a car accident, or a baby with breathing difficulties. It could be someone you know and love. That's why it's so important to donate on Double Up for Doc Day, March 5, when donations will be matched dollar for dollar to fit out a new aircraft with life-saving medical equipment. Double Up for Doc Day, March 5. To donate, visit flyingdoctor.com.au.
Adelaide's biggest Greek festival is back, the Yasu Adelaide Greek Festival. 2 epic days of food, fun and culture. Experience the magic of Greece with over 40 food and market stalls, live DJs and entertainment, plus traditional dancing and performances. The Yasu Adelaide Greek Festival, Feb 21 and 22 at Morfordville Racecourse. Catch the tram or enjoy free all-day parking, plus free entry between 11am and 2pm. Tickets at yasu.com.au or at the door.
I recently spoke with Ryan and Stephanie from Anderson Solicitors, and our discussion was based around relationship breakdowns. Now, of course, we know these can be extremely stressful for everyone involved, and there are so many questions surrounding it. What happens with the house? Who gets the car? How do we split time with the kids? And what about your future? So it can be hard to know what to do or who to turn to. But the family team at Anderson Solicitors can help you through it. They're waiting to take your calls off air now in a completely confidential environment in the 5AA Interactive Lounge. So the number to call is 8223 0055. That's 8223 0055. And if right now isn't convenient, you can jump online later at andersons.com.au.
Babe, just so you know, I've invited a couple of mates over to watch the game.
Wait, how many is a couple?
Just 16.
What? Stock up for the footy season at Sip and Save. More rewards members can grab a Bundaberg UP Rum and Cola 10-pack for just $45.99 or $48.99 for non-members. And you could win your share of up to $150K. Plus, Cooper's Pale Ale 24 packs at just $59.99. More rewards. Join now for free at sipandsave.com.au. Prices may vary in country areas. See website for T's and C's.
Sip and Save.
There's more in store.
This weekend in the Sunday Mail, find meal prep recipes and tips for budget-friendly oven bakes in Delicious. Plus, in a cost of living special, simple ways to save big on your mortgage. The Sunday Mail. We're for Adelaide. We're for you.
Hey, it's Hayley from Adelaide. Discover cruising like never before with Azamara Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Sail deeper into Europe, Asia and Australia with immersive itineraries, longer port stays and more overnight, so you can truly experience every destination. Receive up to $1,000 US on-board credit per suite on select sailings, including a 14-night Spain, France and Italy cruise from $5,029 per person. Offer ends 31st of March. Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
And this afternoon, we are talking about the MotoGP coming to Adelaide. It's a world first to have a street circuit. So there's going to have to be some road closures. It's taking place in November next year from 2027. So it'll happen just before the Adelaide 500. But as I say, they'll have to change the way the layout is because it's a bigger track. The circuit length will be over 4Ks, whereas at the moment the supercars layout is just over 3Ks. And on the MotoGP track, there's 18 turns as opposed to the current 14 turns in the supercars layout. So this track is going to have to change. It looks like from the map I'm seeing, it'll take in some more roads in the suburbs around the CBD and it'll take in more of the parklands area, which is, I guess, why we've been told 45 trees will have to go. And I wonder how much of the parklands will have to be. Will it be torn up? Is that how it'll work? Will it become permanent bitumen in the parklands? I would love to have had answers to these questions, but we haven't heard back from the Premier to come on the program this afternoon, which is such a shame because, as I say, I would love to have been able to have him to answer them. Lots of questions on the text line and concerns on the text line as well, given the speeds that these bikes will travel at, 340 k's an hour on the streets of Adelaide. This person says MotoGP will last until the first fatality. I give it 3 years before that happens. That's from Tim. Kim, a rider of more than 60 years. Helen says this bike race is ridiculous, racing at that speed. We have enough young people dying on our roads now, and they're going to watch these events and copy it. It's stupidity. And this person on the text line says, please tell me why these bikes aren't at Tailem Bend. I did look up the SAPOL statistics, and so far this year, sadly, there have been 13 deaths on Adelaide roads, and 4 of them are motorcycle riders. 2 of them are people on pedal bikes. So I know the other week we were talking to the head of SAPOL's traffic safety branch, and they were saying that's a shocking stat. Almost half of the deaths on our roads this year are for riders of motorbikes or pedal bikes, which is a pretty shocking stat. Caesar in North Adelaide disagrees about safety, though, and he's called in on 8223 0000. Hi, Caesar.
Hello, Stacey.
You're not too worried?
No, well, I saw the press conference this morning and the details they saw, and the head of the MotoGP said that the rider safety is paramount for them in anything they do, and it's only getting better. They devote that much time and energy to it. They're not going to have a course anywhere in the world that's going to pose any risk to the riders at all. So you'll be guaranteed safety will be number one. Doesn't matter. They'll work the turns. The traps and the safety is not an issue. And even Jack Miller was there at the conference as well, and he's one of the leading riders there now. And he actually rode his bike across the footbridge and got out, did a little burnout before the announcement started. So the head of the MotoGP...
He was riding a bike on the footbridge. That doesn't sound safe.
The Adelaide footbridge across the Torrens.
Yeah, isn't it for feet?
He pulled up to the... Well, he wasn't going quick. It was more of a...
Did they close it to pedestrians, I wonder?
They added to the theatre of the presentation, and it was amazing.
Oh, for the theatre.
Full flight he was. And Robert Sims, I mean, the day we engage the Greens in anything progressive here, we're in trouble because that guy suffers from RSD most times, so RDS. And just why do you think he's important that he can even... What he thinks means nothing anyway. And the track you said about the grandstand...
He's an MP in Parliament, Caesar, so he has a say.
Yeah, not much, though, really. He's a lightweight.
Well, in your opinion.
Well, look at the numbers. We'll see. The election will tell us how lightweight they are, how much influence they have. The old grandstand, is actually going to feature as part of the actual main finishing line area. So that's going to be incorporated into the main grandstand as well. So they want to highlight that aspect of it, where the old grandstand is in Vic Park now. So the layout, like you said, will be totally different to what you see with the V8. And I think it's a win-win. You cannot go wrong with this. You know, a few trees. There's that many trees there anyway. You're not going to miss 30 or 40 trees, are you?
Well, you might not. Others will. But I appreciate your thoughts, Caesar. Thank you for calling in. 8223 0000. Sally is in Birkenhead. Hi, Sally.
Oh, how you going, Stacey? I haven't long tuned in because I was listening elsewhere.
Oh, well, that's your first mistake, Sally.
No, not a commercial station, a community not-for-profit station.
Don't worry.
But I was just listening while I was waiting. I was listening to this your last caller, and I think he needs to realise, and somebody else I think before him, said something about all the money that they're wasting on all these things and what it would have cost to give the nurses, the doctors and all those, a bit of an increase. I don't know how to really explain it. I know what I mean, Stacey. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're spending all this money on things that they say, oh, we need this for the doctors, the nurses. No, you don't, because if you hadn't spent this bloody money on rubbish, you'd have the money for the doctors, the nurses and everything. And I've just been thinking about this motorsport, and I thought, why can't we just, if they're going to bring it in, I'm being a bitch here, why can't we bring it in and we line the streets with the homeless people and their dirty mattresses and let the world see what's really happening here?
Sally, I don't think they'd like that. It's not really the state they tried to sell to the world, is it?
It's not, but isn't that what is reality?
Who wants to see reality on TV?
Well, you know what? I do like to see reality on TV, and I'm not sure if it was you. Oh, Angie McBride.
Mm.
Is she on North Station?
Yes, Angie. Yeah, we love Angie.
Yeah, she did an interview with a singer called Conrad Sewell.
Oh, yes, Conrad Sewell, yep.
Well, I've never, ever heard of him, and I am very heavily involved with the local station down here that we're mainly music. We don't have talkback. And I was so impressed with the bloody interview. Hadn't even heard him sing.
Oh, I'll have to pass on the feedback. Thank you, Sally. I'm sure Angie will appreciate that, as will Conrad Sewell. Thanks for the call. 8223 0000 is the number to have your say. Do you think this is a good thing, the MotoGP coming to Adelaide? Yay or nay? We'll take some more calls next.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 3:30 headlines. The Greens have questioned the Premier's priorities after SA landed the MotoGP. A 73-year-old man has been charged with death by dangerous driving following a fatal crash at Tumbie Bay yesterday. Supreme Court Judge Laura Stein has been appointed the state's new Chief Justice, becoming the first woman to hold the role. And in sport, Adelaide won't risk Isaac Rankin in tomorrow night's pre-season showdown. The 5AA forecast: sunny this afternoon, sunny tomorrow, 33. Right now it's 26 degrees. We'll have more news at 4 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Tune in to the 5AA Breakfast Show each week as David Kosh chats with Will and Dave.
It is absolutely worthwhile doing at least an annual check on your big bills. Private health insurance, it is sitting down and going, do we need all the extras that we actually pay for? If you don't, cut them out. That will affect your premium.
David Kosh, each week on 5AA Breakfast.
Let me tell you, it's really worth it.
Yeah, 100%. Always Adelaide.
Listen to that. Wow. No traffic, no rush, just space. Out here, there's room to breathe. And the moments you didn't expect become the ones you remember. The Northern Territory. Road trip differently.
If you're looking for custom-made lounge, dining, bedroom and cabinetry all made right here in SA, Nordic Design Furniture is the place. The designs and options are endless and fully customisable. Experience the quality and finish at Adelaide's only manufacturer's showroom. See how real furniture looks and feels. It's made right here by their artisans just for you. No longer Adelaide's best-kept secret. Open 7 days at 43 McGill Road, Stepney. Nordic Design Furniture. Yes, it's a Nordic.
Now, we've been keeping tabs on Cancer Council SA's Giving Day today, which our very own Graham Goodings was broadcasting from this morning. He was at Cancer Council SA's headquarters on Green Hill Road. As you've heard, 1 in 2 South Australians will be touched by cancer, which is why Cancer Council SA is here to provide support at every stage of their journey. And so far, $83,000 has been raised. And thanks to dollar matching, this total increases to $166,000. It's huge, and it means that Cancer Council SA are 70% to their matched goal of $240,000. So every donation is still being matched dollar for dollar until 8 p.m. tonight. Help them reach that target so they can help fund life-saving cancer prevention, support and research right here in South Australia. You can double your impact in under a minute and help change a life today. If there was ever a day to have an impact, today is the day to double it. So you can do it now at givingday.org.au. That's givingday.org.au. T's and C's apply.
Much on this weekend? How about a quick trip to Amsterdam? Dig into cones of Belgian fries topped with mayo, mini Dutch pancakes and indulgent Biscoff milkshakes. Stock up on authentic Dutch products, market-fresh produce and irresistible Dutch cakes made from scratch daily. Take a leisurely stroll past the windmill, admire the tulips and the Delft blue. Visit Amsterdam this weekend at the Dutch Pantry. OG Road Clemzig, open 7 days. Just look for the big windmill.
The latest Star Discount Chemist catalogue is packed with red-hot summer specials. You'll find Hydrolite Effervescent Electrolyte tablets, 20 tablets in assorted flavours, just $11.99 for relief from dehydration symptoms. Always read the label and follow directions for use. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
Don't miss the yearly Anglicare SA Teddy Toss and fundraising event at Cooper Stadium. Join Anglicare SA and Adelaide United on Friday, February 20, as the Reds take on Perth Glory, with Anglicare SA as the official matchday partner. Bring a new soft toy or teddy bear, and at halftime, toss it onto the pitch to support SA children in need. Every toy and dollar donated helps bring comfort and support to families doing it tough. Find out more at anglicaresa.com.au/softtoytoss.
Live, local. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
24 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. This half hour, I've got tickets to give away, a double pass to see 2016 at the Adelaide Fringe. Now, this is a rockumentary type show, and it looks at 2016, which is the year we lost some music icons. George Michael, David Bowie, Prince, Leonard Cohen. Unfortunately, they all died in 2016. So the team behind the 27 Club, which was a great Fringe show, it had been around for years and years and years. It's the same team that did the 27 Club, have launched 2016 at the Fringe this year, and I've got a double pass to give away. So when I tell you to call very soon in the next half hour, I will play you some music from one of those iconic artists, and you have to tell me the next line of their song. But now we're taking your calls. Lots of thoughts on the MotoGP. Also lots of thoughts on daylight saving after Ricky Lambert from the Nationals just called into the station. We did an interview with him earlier on, and he said he would like to see daylight saving scrapped, and he wants to make it an election issue. June in Pennington has some thoughts on this. Good afternoon, June. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I think I love daylight saving, and I wish it was here all year round.
Ah, okay. So you...
I love it. Absolutely love it. And as for the Grand Prix, well, Jeff Pennick took our Grand Prix, the proper Grand Prix for the cars, and he's not happy now that we've got the Grand Prix for the bikes. So, yeah, that's how it goes. But I think there'll be lots of deaths.
Bit of payback, you think?
And what I'm surprised at, the Live Golf is really, really successful, but he wants it to go to Adelaide City, in the City Golf Course. But it means pulling down trees, and it's like he doesn't mind pulling trees down.
Oh, yeah, if they're in the way, get rid of them.
Yeah, and I think, no, we're not allowed to do that. And I don't think he should be allowed to just pass it, that trees can be just pulled down.
That's a good point, June. I haven't thought of it in that way, because if you want to take a tree down from your backyard, it's almost impossible these days.
Yeah.
But the government can pull 45 down in the parklands for a motorbike race, and they can pull 800 down on the golf course for a golf tournament.
That is so wrong. That is so wrong. And I think we do need to take that. I think we need to take that to the polls, to be honest.
Maybe it'll be an election issue. Would it change your vote?
Well, he doesn't have my vote anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. He doesn't.
Well, I think he's done too many things wrong, but yeah, I think he's done a lot of things wrong. But, I mean, he's done some good things, but I think, yeah, pulling the trees down, no, No. Yeah, but daylight saving, let's keep it.
Let's keep it. All right.
I dread it when it has to go back.
Thank you for the call, June. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
See you. That's June in Pennington. She mentioned Jeff Kennett. He was on the Brecky Show with Dave and Will today.
I think we're not going to see these again. It just breaks my heart. Whatever the cost, what it does to the morale of your community is huge. Stealing this from us, his community will be saying, up you, Victoria.
Are you saying, up you, Victoria? Are you glad we've got the MotoGP? Matthew in Morfettville, hello.
Good afternoon, Stacey. First one, a quick one on the daylight saving. I'd much rather see a compromise of we change to Eastern time. Ridiculous at times having 5 time zones in the country at one time. We go to Eastern time and scrap the daylight saving time. It's a compromise between both. As for the bike GP, most of the people in my information that go over to Phillip Island camp there. Now that to me then means that's a big part of the whole event. You won't see them camping in Victoria Park, but from my experience up at the Bend, there was a lot of camping up there. It's increased each major event that they have, and you have everything from your first-class accommodation in the hotel down to having a tent pitched in the middle of the circuit. So the bit about spending money on it, yes, that's true, but the government's not going around handing out, cash to all of the businesses around town. Their business increases because of the volume of people that come in.
Yeah, well, that's true, and that's the argument the government uses for bringing these events into town.
When the Grand Prix first came to Adelaide, the little place halfway, I've just forgotten the name of it now, halfway to Broken Hill, and because the Grand Prix was on, you had pickup people coming from New South Wales, Queensland on their way to Adelaide, and they stopped accommodation, meals, etc. for a week before and a week after. But they wouldn't have seen that income if the Grand Prix had not existed. And as for the safety aspect, the FIM, international governing body, have got pretty tight restrictions. The Bend was built to their specifications to accommodate superbikes, MotoGP. Now it seems a pity to waste it that it's been purpose-built, and if you look at it from the viewpoint that they're going to put in additional tarmac bitumen surface to race on, that's slowly impinging more on the, I'll say, the sacrosanct parklands as such. It's another, I'll say, black mark on the ground against the thing. Leave it like it is, but run that up at the Bend. And also, I'm sure the people in the eastern suburbs are going to love getting disrupted twice a year.
The road closures. Yeah, well, I mean, that's why the government's saying that they're doing the race in November. So it won't be two different disruptions, but it might just be that they'll be disrupted for longer in November. Yes, thank you for the call, Matthew. Appreciate your thoughts. Mark on the text line, shove golf and shove your MotoGP. I will not support any of these events. Oh, that's decisive, Mark. Bruce in Salisbury East, what do you think? Hello.
Yes, I'm in support of the MotoGP, and really, I've had a gut full of people in this state. I mean, they call us the city of churches, but we should be called the city of whingers, because every development that's happened in this state, there's nothing but whinging about it. The Marion Swimming Centre, they were whinging about that when that was built. The Adelaide Swimming Centre, there was whinging about that. The Live Golf, there's whinging about it. When they bought the V8 supercars back, there was whinging about it. And now the MotoGP is going to come here, and they're whinging about that too. I mean, really, you go and ask the hospitality people in this city, and ask other businesses in this city what they think of all these events. I can tell you're going to get a whole different story than all these whingers that are coming on saying, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, oh, it's no good doing this and it's no good doing that. And people coming on and saying that they're going to remove trees for this, for the MotoGP, they've got no idea. I mean,
what do you mean? The government has said that they'll remove 45 trees. That's not made up. They said it.
So what? So what? It's nothing.
Well, you might not care, but other people do.
Well, the whole thing is that people are starting to give me the willies. I mean, like, we need these things here. All the older people in this state. How do you think this state's going to survive with all the older people that aren't working anymore, that aren't putting money into the system?
Yeah. Well, that's an argument, that's for sure. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate your thoughts. See ya. 8223 0000 is the number to call. I think Bruce has gone to make himself a cup of tea after that. We love it, Bruce. Thank you. This is what we get. We need the passion. We need the passion. 8223 0000 is the number to call. Maybe you want to talk about the MotoGP. Maybe you want to talk about daylight saving. Jim from Kalunga. Hello.
Hello, Stacey. How are you going?
Good. What do you think?
Stacey, I've got a couple of points. First of all, I don't think I spoke to you since you've been back, so welcome back. And your show's been entertaining me since you've been back.
Oh, good.
Now, daylight savings, I don't mind so much. We get up at 5 and it's still a bit dark, but the partner, she drives into Piri, so effectively she's driving to work at 6 in the morning. The kangaroos are still a bit doughy then, so I'd rather be later. But think of the kids over the West Coast, Stacey, getting on the school bus in pitch black. Pitch black. Over the West Coast at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's pitch black. Like it's 5 o'clock here, Nelly, you know. So I think it should end in the first week in February.
Yeah.
It goes too long.
I think it goes for too long. I don't think we need to get rid of it altogether, but I agree with you. I think it just drags on a bit too long.
It just goes too long. And now a second point, I sort of, to Bruce's point about we all whinge, I think that's because we were free settlers in this state and the people who come here first chose to come here, so I think that's why we're whingers here a little bit.
And look, I mean, it's some people call it whingers. Other people say passionate. People are passionate about their patch. It's called NIMBYism to some people, but to other people, it just means you're passionate about what's happening around you.
Yeah, that's true. This has been indulgent on my behalf, but I've got only one lad. I raised him for his first 4.5 years on Earth, till I met the lovely girl I'm with now, and she sort of takes credit for the rest of his raising, but she was I had to raise her as well. She's at work, so she can't even say that. But he finishes up tomorrow after 17 years in the Defence Force, and he's going to be he was never going to have children, Stacey, and I've got a 6-year-old granddaughter, and a 4-year-old grandson.
Oh.
And he's built a house in a country town about an hour out of Adelaide, and she's attending the school now. They were in defence housing at Largs. And she loves her school with 8 kids in the class.
Oh.
And he's going to be a stay-at-home mum like I was for a few years.
Oh, that's so exciting, Jim. Congratulations to you and your son.
Thank you, Stacey. But you know what I'm going to tell you?
What?
I used to carry him around on a backpacker. He was born in Mullumbimby Hospital. And I used to say, you can know the crowd up there. I was a sort of odd one out. I was at Whanganui Gorge. And I could remember a little boy changing his nappies and hanging them because I refused to use plastic nappies, and my mother said how queer I was. When I travelled, I learnt to use them, but at home was only cloth nappies.
Yeah.
But Stacey, nights when they're teething and everything else, you think, but it goes in a heartbeat.
Oh.
It's gone. And I always thought that, an old men used to say, I feel like a boy still. I thought, yeah, you silly old fool. I'm only 59. And I remember, it's just gone, just like that, Stacey. And their childhood just goes. It just goes.
Jim, you're making me tear up. I'm in that phase at the moment. Molly's got one tooth.
You know
we had a couple of wake-ups last night. She's teething. Yeah. So, I'm right there at the moment.
And you know what, Stacey? Congratulations to you and your Pete, not Peter, your partner, and your Ben.
Ben.
Is that right?
Yeah, Ben.
Ben.
Yep.
Yeah. Stacey, one more point if I can. You lived in New South Wales there in Sydney, didn't you?
I did,
right?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, in the mid-'80s, I was living around New Street and Woolloomooloo, Kings Cross Way, and bumming around a bit. And the furthest west I'd ever been was Wentworthville. And I worked at the pub out there, and all the locals thought I was an Englishman because of the South Australian accent, because I'd say chance. And they'd go, do you wear pants? And thought it was funny as hell. But there's a movie on ABC iView now. It's an old movie. One of my old favourites back in the day is that They're a Weird Mob, the John O'Grady book about Nino Collotta, an Italian immigrant who came to Australia. And you watch that. I watch it because to see Sydney, what it was like, even the time I was there in the 80s, how much it's changed, how quickly it's changed, you know?
It has changed a whole lot, yeah, especially that area there at the cross that you're talking about, Jim, that's for sure. Yes, every area has changed a lot since the 80s. Some people would say Adelaide's changed a lot. That's what we're talking about today. It'll be changing a little bit more now that the MotoGP is coming to Adelaide, and it'll be the world's first street race, a world's first. 8223 0000 is the number to call. I'm taking your thoughts this afternoon, and thank you to Jim for his. I'll continue taking your calls next, and don't forget, actually, you know what? Competition. Call now for the competition. 8223 0000 is the number to call if you want some Fringe tickets.
FIVEAA is celebrating local businesses across Adelaide, like Brain Matters Allied Health, a clinic dedicated to adults with neurological disorders in Semaphore. FIVEAA, supporting local, celebrating SA.
RDNS is now called Silver Chain, but that's all that's changing. There's still the same friendly faces, same in-home health and aged care you trust, and same not-for-profit values. Because some things will never change at Silver Chain.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Go Harvey Norman hot deals on Dyson. Hot price on Dyson V8 Origin Stick Vacuum now just $377. Save $570 on Dyson V15 Detect Absolute Stick Vac with laser technology, leaving no mess behind. Now under $900. Bundle deal on Wash G1 plus V16 Animal at just $1,349. Plus hot deal on Dyson Airstrait for fast styling without heat damage. Now only $546. Best brands, best range. There's more in store at Harvey Norman. Hot deals on Dyson on now.
Hi, I'm Steve Wormald from Walco Liners and Covers out of FIVEAA. We're a manufacturing business. So far as advertising, we've done a few things. Print, magazines, a couple of spots on TV, but we'd never done radio. Contacted 5AA and were teed up with James Wellham and thought we'd give it a go. Very much James's pitch was that quite distinct from a radio show with music. A talk show, advertising that comes in on chat show will be more like a testimonial. So that was quite attractive to me to give that a go and actually be personally endorsed, I suppose, by the talk show. 5AA is the only one in town. We gave it a go. That was 2016.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
From Cairns to Canberra, Perth to Port Macquarie, you can rely on Red Spot to provide the perfect ride for your next holiday. We're the only Aussie family-owned and operated car rental company in airport terminals and cities all over Australia with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
This summer, you can enjoy 50% cash back, up to $50 from your coastal dining or seafood purchases in the Dining Cashback program. The last draw closes 28th of February. Make the most of the Dining Cashback program now. For entry and full terms and conditions, visit southaustralia.com/dining cashback. Don't wait. Last draw closes 28th of February. Limitations apply. Licence number T25/2026.
Satisfy your lunch cravings with the Subway 6-inch value range. Grab a legendary Subway 6-inch sub for just $7 when you order on the app. The Subway 6-inch value range. Order now on the Subway app. Available at participating restaurants.
Has your business recently hired an apprentice or trainee who needs to be signed up? Or is your business planning to hire one? Apprenticeship Support Australia is here to help. Our free service helps you access government incentives, simplifies the sign-up process and offers ongoing mentoring and support. Whether you need support with an apprentice carpenter, electrician, chef or trainee aged care worker, we've got you covered. Apprenticeship Support Australia, building skills for tomorrow. Visit apprenticeshipsupport.com.au.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
Good afternoon to you. 6 minutes to go on the afternoons program. And after that, Rowie and Timmy G will be on with the sports show. I have no doubt they will be covering the MotoGP back to front, everything you need to know. But before we find out what else they've got on the show, Janelle in Hillbank was nice and quick on the phone for the Fringe ticket competition. Hi, Janelle.
Hello, Stacey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Now, are you a George Michael fan?
Oh, I do love George. Yeah, he's great.
Okay,
well,
good.
He was great, yes.
Yes, because I have some of his music here, and I've asked Jess to make it hard today because I think he's been a bit lazy the last few days. He's made this competition very easy. but he sort of grinned at me earlier, so I don't have much faith that he's made today hard. I reckon you might be fine.
Well, I'm up for a challenge either way.
Okay, good. I'm going to play you some of the song, and then I need to know the next part, the next lyrics.
Beautiful.
Here you go.
Oh, that's gold.
What are you doing? I'm shaking my head at him now. He's just laughing. He thinks this is great. Go on. What do you think the next lyric is, Janelle?
Faith?
Congratulations. At least that means you get to go along to Gluttony and see 2016 at the Fringe.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Janelle. See you. Enjoy.
Bye.
It's Janelle in Hillbank. She's going along to Gluttony at Rymel Park, which is home of the biggest shows this Fringe. You can get your tickets at gluttony.net.au, and I will have another double pass to give away tomorrow. Now, as I said, Rowie and Timmy G, they will have the MotoGP covered from back to front on the sports show after 4. Rowie's here. Hello, Stephen Rowe.
How are you?
Good.
Timmy won't be with us. He's sadly attending a funeral of a dear mate of his. So,
Oh, no.
so God bless. Yeah, so it's just me and Sam. Talking about Sam, Dr. Sam Shaheen is on. Jack Miller, MotoGP rider. Carlos Espeleta is the MotoGP boss. This is massive news for our state, and I mean massive. We are the best festival event city in the world, period, full stop, close the book. Live Golf, TDU, Gather Round, Fringe Festival, now the MotoGP. We held, still to this day, the best Formula One event the world's ever seen, 210,000 on the last day, 95. I was there. No one does it better than us. So to the premier major events, especially Dr. Sam Shaheen. Now, we'll speak to him tonight. He'll be super modest about this, but he's been courting the MotoGP for 15 years.
And it's not even happening at his venue.
That's right. His dream was to get it in Adelaide. Obviously, to get it on his track. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't happen. So we'll speak to him, look forward to that. But this is just huge for us. People will come here. Like, you think of our timeline. 80% of MotoGP fans are in our Asian timeline, straight up to Japan, to China, to Indonesia, and they love it. They love it. Most of the motorbikes are all built or manufactured in that little timeline. So for us to get that is just, oh, God, it's exciting. So the Premier again, well done. Liberal who? How are they going to get in now? Us blue bloods.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting. The text line's been very split. Lots of, I reckon so far it's 50-50. People
Look,
supporting
there
it,
will
people
be.
not supporting it.
It's going to be in November. Obviously, we're going to have the grand final of the supercars as well. So what we set up, there might be some permanent structure. A lot of it will be taken up and put down. And look, for the eastern suburbs people, and I lived there for a good majority of my life. I'm in North Adelaide now. So I feel for that. It is a pain in the arse, the up and down, this and that. But the trade-off is that, you know, put South Australia first, put your little prejudices aside, your little tree huggers, and just know that this is going to be great for our state. And it will be. And it'll filter through to you. It will. You know, no one likes traffic jams and roadblocks and that. Go and live in Sydney. They have it every day. Go and live in Melbourne. It's atrocious over there.
We are very lucky.
For the sake of a month, I think those people will just grit their teeth. And if you don't want it, give us a call after 4.
Yep. Still taking calls on it?
We don't want to be the whinging state anymore. We're the doing state. We do it. We get it done, and we do it better than anyone. Live Golf. The Grange Golf Course members, they put away their prejudices for that month on their course so that the state could benefit.
Yeah, they don't want to do it, though. They're not doing it anymore.
Well, they're not. Kooyonga will, but it doesn't mean that they didn't. They were fantastic. The volunteers, they did it. They had their turn. Now it moves on. We can put ourselves out. We can put ourselves out, and we have, and I think you just got to get in behind it. The whingers can keep whinging.
Well, there
I'm
you
not
go.
listening. You whingers.
You're not listening, but you don't want their calls?
Yeah, shh. I'm going to say shit, yeah. Get them on.
Don't say that.
No, come on.
Okay, all right.
No, listen,
Rowie
we're
wants
interactive.
to hear your thoughts.
We are interactive. We don't prejudice anyone. We are here for you. Be a voice. I'm not going to encourage you to ring and have a crack, but if you want to, do. We're not going to wind you down. This is your state. You live in it. Your voice is as opinionated and as valued as anyone else's. But I don't want to hear la-la. You'd want to have a bloody good excuse to ring me and la-la. No, you would.
Well, you've got to get out of the studio now. We're out of time. It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
well,
and then you can come back in and take the calls.
See you after 4.
Beautiful. Rowie on with you after 4 for the sports show. Sam Tugwell as well. So get on the phone, 822 300. Yay or nay? Do you like the MotoGP? Are you a fan like Rowie? Share your thoughts. I know they're keen for them. Thank you for your thoughts on the Arvos program today. I'll talk to you at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Coming up next, Adelaide's only local sport show. It's the very